Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Why Not Me podcast. I am your host, Jerry Ruiz. With me today, I have a expert amateur radio analyst. We got BD Williams, but he does his radio on YouTube. Give him a big round of
There you
applause.
go. Thanks for having me, bro. Thanks for having me,
No,
Jerry.
no problem, man. I appreciate all the work you do on Tape Don't Lie. So I'm honored to have you on here, bro.
Yeah, man. Well, we're like, look, all the guys who are doing podcasts about Raider Nation, we should stick together. That's really what it comes down to for me. So,
I agree, bro. I agree. I feel I have another podcast I do. I'm not sure if either on there or on here. At the end of the season, I kind of want to do like a 10 to 15 segment with all the Raider people I had on here. Ask them what they thought about the season, what they think about the future. Kind of like a draft party, but maybe like a review party or something. I feel like that'd be pretty sick.
okay, yeah, bro, definitely. Let me know about that.
Hell yeah! You ready to get this started?
Yeah, let's do it, bro.
All right, so we're gonna start this off a little easy. That way we can kind of figure out each other's personality and go from there. Okay. All right. So what is the tape? Don't lie.
Okay, yeah. So, Marcus Johnson, he's on Twitter at the Mark John NFL, and myself. I noticed Marcus Johnson do some Twitter posts showing some scheme things that Gruden does on Twitter. I guess maybe like almost a year ago, and actually, I stopped writing for a website called Silver and Black Pride because they laid off all their subcontractors or private contractors. And I was about to go write for this website called the Raiders Wire, but then I noticed that this guy Marcus Johnson was writing over there, and I didn't want to, take any burn away, take any shine away from this brother, right? But then eventually I reached out to him, and I was just like, hey, bro, I like your work. How'd you get the all 22? I think he was showing some like college all 22, meaning like you can see all 22 guys on the field. And college all 22 is harder to come by than NFL all 22. For NFL, you just need to put in a little subscription or whatever, pay like I think it's like $100 a year, and you get all the NFL games for like the last 10 years.
Are you gonna
can
write
watch
that off
them.
your taxes, bro? Since it's part of your
Actually, I did.
business?
I did write. I did write off my taxes. There you
yeah.
go. But so I reached out to him, and we just started talking about things, and eventually, we came up with the idea to have like a little YouTube channel, just breaking down some things that we're seeing and try to educate fans about the exact, technical aspects, if it's scheme, if it's actual like fundamentals of football, like the techniques that are being coached and stuff like that. So it's called the Tape Don't Lie podcast. I seen you retweet it, at least once. So I appreciate that, bro. And so that's just what we do. Me and Marcus Johnson, we break down Raiders film.
And I wasn't just retweeting it because you're on here. That's kind of why I did it too. But I actually, like I was telling you earlier, I watch it myself, so I like it. So why not promote you guys?
Good
Uh,
looks, Mo.
yeah, no problem, man. Especially like when you're, I don't know how new you guys are, but when you're new, the more people that see it, the better, because it
Right.
just helps expand it.
Yeah, we started during preseason. Well, there wasn't preseason, but 4 weeks before the season started, we started ramping it up. Taking care of any technical difficulties that we ran into, and so now I think we got it humming a little better now.
Were you nervous before your first episode or anything?
No, because it's not live.
Yeah.
We record it, and I can edit it on my end, so it's not. I really wasn't nervous, and I was just talking ball with a dude that I talked ball with before. So
Hell yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that. And the live aspect, it's a little bit easier on some parts, but man, when you're into technical difficulties, it does suck, bro.
Right.
Because you can't,
Right.
you gotta fix it live. But
The problem that we ran into, because we were thinking about doing it live first. The problem that we ran into is figuring out how so I could like live stream through OBS, right? I guess I could do it through YouTube too, right?
yeah, I believe you can do it.
But we couldn't figure out like how to get both of our videos or like
Both your
our
screens.
images in, right?
Yeah.
Our screens, but then also share a screen at the same time between the two of us. I mean, we couldn't figure it out on OBS. So I personally, I will live stream occasionally on Periscope through it's called open broadcast system. So I can basically like set up, I can set up a logo and my video and my camera and all this stuff, you know, a little ticker going across it, and then I could just live stream it through Twitter. So I do that occasionally, but having a guest on top of it, I feel like the live stream just makes it like super difficult. I don't
Hey,
know. I haven't been able to figure it out.
hey, bro, that's what we're doing right now. Literally everything you just described. So,
But do you have the video though? That's the hard part, I
oh,
guess. You know.
uploading the footage, right? So,
Right. So like showing the footage at the same time, because like you could show footage, like you could do this, right?
yeah,
Like what we're doing, and you could be showing footage, but I couldn't see it
yeah.
through Zoom.
Through
You know what I'm
his,
saying?
yeah, he could be playing it on his end, but you couldn't be
Right.
seeing it. So pretty much you would
Yeah.
have to have the knowledge before and pretend like you'd have to have
Pretend.
it
Oh,
scripted.
right.
Yeah, but now
Yeah.
that's difficult too. I get that part, bro. Um, you guys, how far do you guys live from each other?
I think Marcus lives in Arizona.
Oh, okay, no, that's pretty far.
Yeah, and I moved to New York. I played college football in Long Island, at Stony Brook University, and I just been living on the East Coast ever since. You know, there's more jobs out here. I feel like I was able to start making pretty good money
Oh
immediately
yeah,
after I graduated from college. Whereas like my best friend growing up, like we're still best friends to this day. He went to UC Berkeley, and it took my dude 3 years to find a full-time job. You know what I'm saying, in
yeah.
California, like, and he went to Berkeley, so
Hell yeah.
ah,
Yeah,
you
exactly,
know,
bro.
like
That's crazy.
yeah. So I've just been I've been stuck out here. You know, once you start making a New York City salary, you kind of trapped out here because you go somewhere else, you're gonna be taking a huge pay cut.
Yeah, you
So
take that out, huh?
yeah, yeah, right. So I've been stuck out here ever since, honestly.
So, how did you come up with the name "The Tape Don't Lie"? And
Yeah,
because
it,
I know
it,
there's no more
it,
cassette tapes, bro. So, so we gotta figure that one out.
right. No, so we were going back and forth about what the title was. My original vote for the title of our podcast was the Autumn Rewind. I like the way that kind of rolled off the tongue. Like kind of like a play on the Autumn Wind is a Raider. The Raiders theme song. But we ended up going with the Tape Don't Lie. I don't know who came up with that. I think it just came up organically. But like when you say you got to roll the tape, you're looking at the Raiders film, and yeah, again. So we break down Raiders film. We try not to have too many opinions. We want it to be about what we're seeing and just explain it to the fans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's no
So
politics involved while you do it.
right. So it's not like we go in saying like, oh, Carr sucks or Carr's the best quarterback. Like we're trying to be in the middle of like all these debates about players, and just try to just show people objectively like here's what the film says. It's not about what I think or what Marcus thinks. It's just what the game tape shows.
Yeah, or the game footage.
Right.
It's not even tape no more, bro. People are gonna be like, tape? Why that? How many episodes or videos have you guys done?
Oh, sure. I can't even count now. We probably have like at least around 15, maybe 15 to 20. Oh, I haven't sat back and counted it. But our format, basically, our standard format is we just do a breakdown show after every game, and then we do a shorter, like 30-minute review show where we show footage of the upcoming Raiders opponents. And sometimes there's other things that we add in there. Like I have a couple other breakdowns of players that I've done. Maurice Hurst is up there. Amik Robertson's college footage is up there. Marcus Johnson did some Henry Ruggs footage in there. And so we try to supplement it, occasionally when we have the time to add some other things to the channel. So yeah, but mostly it's an hour-long show after, like, on Wednesdays, and like a 30-minute show on Fridays is what we try to do.
So have you guys already recorded the Chiefs footage, I guess, for next week
No, I
or is
haven't.
that
I haven't gotten into it. I'll probably do that. I'll probably do that Thursday night or early Friday morning.
is it
Honestly,
is it gonna kill you seeing how they play?
you know, obviously like the Raiders fan in me, yeah, it hurts, it sucks, and everything like that. But like the football purist in me, I mean, it is watching the Chiefs is something special.
Yeah,
So
it's crazy.
I do appreciate it when I'm watching it, but I dread obviously the dread when the Raiders go up against them.
You're gonna be like, damn, look at that throw that Mahomes did. Ah, fuck him. Yeah, fuck him, man. Yeah, cause that fool. I remember the first time I seen him at a Raider game. Like you see him on TV, it looks crazy, but when you see him live, you're like, oh shoot, this fool's actually just doing these crazy things, you know? Like
Yeah.
it's in person. I remember. I forgot who was the cornerback. He threw a pass to Kelsey in the end zone, and the football just went right over the fingertips of the cornerback and right into Kelsey's
Yeah.
hand, bro. Like off a perfect throw. I was like, what? Like there's no defending it. So we're gonna have our hands full on that one for sure.
Yeah. Every team in the NFL is gonna have their hands full with this guy.
Yeah. How long does it take you guys to set up for an episode?
So I won't speak for my co-host, but it takes me probably around an hour, maybe 2 hours. I'm not really keeping track of the time to like compile all of my footage on my end, and then when we record, it's like another hour. But really, the longest part is editing our video. Something that we were doing before, we were sharing our screens on Zoom and talking over it, but the image quality isn't great. Even if you try to like optimize for a moving video or whatever on Zoom, it still doesn't look great. So then I'll cut out the actual video in the editing process, like post-production, and put in the videos that we made. And then I got to continue to edit for continuity. So like I might like pause it, and so then I have to like extend, or make it longer or pause the video that I'm editing in. And I do the same thing for Marcus. And then he edits the review or the preview show of the upcoming opponents. But honestly, it takes me, sometimes it takes me like almost 3 hours to edit the whole video before I put it up.
And that's
yeah,
for like an hour episode, right?
right. For like an hour episode. Yeah.
So it takes you about 3 times as much
Right.
much footage to do it. And that's now compared to like I guess when you first started, because you kind of get used to it, right? You get in that flow.
Yeah, you get used to it, but like I was saying, I didn't edit in the videos for like our first few shows, and I just noted like once I did edit the video in, I just realized, okay, this looks so much better. Like I got to do it. So it made my job, like 5 times harder.
Yeah.
More time consuming, but the product is better. So I just had to do it. I had to bite the bullet on that.
Hell yeah, man. I feel bad because like I was telling you, I do another podcast with my friend, and he does all the editing for that, and they're about like 2 hours long.
Okay.
And
Wow.
it's because, well, we record at his house, I drive over there, so I guess eventually if we ever make money, he could we'll do a year contract. He could take like 5-10% more, 60-40, 55-45. And then after that, if we ever get paid, then that means I'd be able to have free time. So I'll help him out on that part. But
Yeah.
it's crazy, bro. That's one good thing about live, man. I don't gotta edit anything, pretty much.
Yeah. Right.
This is what you see is what you get.
Right.
But
That's true.
that's crazy. Do you like editing? Is that something you like doing?
Yeah, actually, it doesn't bother me. It's not like I don't dread it, And for me, when I'm editing, it's just I'm trying to explain visually as best as I can, to make it understandable. So even sometimes, like my wife doesn't watch football at all. She's not a football fan. She's not a sports fan. But sometimes I'll even just show my wife just to be like, do you understand this? Because I know if she understands it, then anyone can understand it. You know what I'm saying? So
not throwing shade.
Oh yeah, I'm throwing. Yeah, she doesn't know. Like she doesn't know anything about football, But yeah, so like that's something that So I enjoy kind of doing that to make sure, like, okay, when I'm editing it, is this making sense? Do I need to, like draw arrows or like highlight a player or zoom in, stuff like that. And it's just to make it understandable for the audience.
You know, you don't draw no like turbo sounds. You don't put no explosions in the video or nothing.
There's a Seahawks guy who does this. I think his name is like Cable Thanos or something like that, and he makes these hilarious videos. He's not like breaking down like scheme or anything, but
Yeah.
he does some really silly videos. I've thought about doing that in the past as a joke, but it takes more work, and I'm not like an expert in
Yeah.
editing. I can put some arrows on a diagram, but
So maybe on April Fools or something, huh? We'll have a
there you go.
we'll
There you
have
go.
a
That's a good
special
idea.
episode.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, man, you got it. Are you gonna dress up for Halloween, bro? Speaking of,
No, I'm not gonna dress up. I don't celebrate Halloween,
Oh, okay.
so
My bad. You don't like candy or anything? You don't like kids having fun?
exactly.
Or you just see the whole fan base dressed up all the time that you're like, you know what, I get enough of this
Right.
the whole year. But who decides that? Who's gonna do offense or who's gonna do defense? Like on you guys'
Oh,
segment
okay, yeah.
breakdown.
That's a good question. So I always do defense, and Marcus always does offense. Marcus is an offense guy. He likes breaking down offense. I'm the opposite. I really enjoy breaking down defense. So it just worked out that way. And even before this podcast, because I've been writing for a few sites, I've been now I write for Just Blog Baby occasionally, and so I've been doing film breakdown stuff for like the last 3 years. Right. So I already charted the Raiders defense. And what I mean by that is like I watch every single play like 5 times and make sure I know like what the personnel is, what coverage they're running, if they're doing any stunts, the down and distance. I just like mark like I have like 10 categories, and I just do that for every single play. So I was already doing that even before this podcast came out. So it just made sense that I would do the defense and Marcus would do the offense.
Yeah, it must be pretty bad doing the defense right now, right? For like for the past couple years.
Yeah,
Just
right.
'cause-
It's never been super fun, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Hey Nate, this podcast is about BD Williams. He has his own podcast on YouTube called Takedown Live where he breaks down the Raiders. So that's what that's about. Thank you for tuning in.
Come through, Nate.
And I think he thinks you're an Eagles fan because of your shirt.
Oh man, come on, guys. No. Hold on.
Oh, there you go. It's just faded, bro. It's just.
Hey Nate, that's the Supreme, okay? That's the Supreme Raiders gear, all right?
I told him, don't worry, it's just faded, bro. He's been a lifelong Raider fan. He's had it since he was like 6. So, other than me telling Nate what's up about the fly Eagles fly, we'll see. Good luck, guys. That's all I can say. I don't want to talk trash about your team right now. But other than telling Nate that you're a big Raiders fan and about your show, how else do you promote yourself, or do you guys promote yourself? Because it's you and Mark.
Yeah. So I promoted a little bit. I just put a little clip on Twitter, and then I also put the link on a couple Reddit pages for one's like the Oakland Raiders Reddit, and the other one is just the Raiders Reddit page. I'll just throw them up there, like whatever. And then there's also someone recently invited me to like the Raider Nation Discord chat.
Yeah.
And so and they said, hey, I'm gonna put all the videos in there. So people put the video, like it just goes through a few places, But this is just a hobby for me. It's just it's fun. I would even if I didn't do this, I would still watch the Raiders, and because like this is my hobby, like I really don't do anything else. Unfortunately, it sounds super boring, but like this is what I do for fun is watch Raiders film, honestly. So I would do it no matter what.
What about the rest of the year then? What do you do then?
Right. I know.
You remember you have a family or what?
Yeah, my wife likes me a little better during the rest of the year, during the off season. That's for sure.
Yeah, I know how you feel, man. On Sundays, she doesn't like him because like I abandoned her for Sundays. 'Cause it's just that's how it goes, man.
Right,
Like I was
right.
telling you, for the past 3 years, I've been going to the Raider games. So all day I'd be in Oakland, just from the morning to the evening,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and so I'd be doing that, and then now I'm going to my well, he used to be my cousin, I guess, through marriage, but so technically he's my friend. But Matthew Babauta, he's my cousin, bro. Once you've been cousins
Yeah,
for a while,
right,
like
right.
that's family. But yeah, I go to spend my time at his house all day there because I gotta watch the Raider games. So Sundays are for the boys, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. 100%, 100%.
And what is your what is your favorite episode that you've done this year, or actually of all the tape don't lie?
Just this last one that came out, I ripped the defense. Usually I don't go in that
Yeah,
hard, but it was pretty bad, and there was a lot of reasons for it being bad. So
it's not your fault
hopefully
though.
I got my point across. Got my points across, and people understand it. So it,
Yeah,
it's probably the most technical. Like I'm talking about like NFL schemes, things that you're not going to see on Madden. Like it's not the standard like cover three, cover one, cover two, or something like that. It's
yeah.
like a lot more in depth than that. And so hopefully people understand it. And if they don't understand it, holla at me, talk to me, and I'll try to explain myself better in the future.
Hey, if I play Madden, you're gonna be my coach. If I get in a tournament,
Nah, man,
I
I
can have
suck at
you.
Madden. I suck at Madden.
I can have you
Uh,
and Mark. You telling me all the plays you're gonna be doing, what to do. We'll split the
Nah,
winnings.
nah. Actually, I get upset when I play Madden because I'm just like, like in Madden, I'm gonna sound. This is stupid to say this, but
Nah, that's fine.
especially when you're playing like zone coverage
Yeah.
on defense,
All I
right?
run is cover three zone when I'm the Raiders.
Okay. So like say you're running cover three and everyone's just like dropping to a spot. Like no one does that in football. Like
Yeah.
after high school, no one just like covers grass. Like
Yeah.
everything is like a pattern match or a zone match, or like there's like you get into like cover seven or cover like these other coverages that people don't realize because they're not on Madden or whatever it is, right? But that people don't like. NFL football is not played like that. No one covers grass anymore. Like for the last like 6-7 years, that has like completely been phased out. But Madden, like they're not going to change things up. Like they're
Yeah.
notorious for just doing putting the same game out there year after year.
They're not gonna
So
put a
it
match
actually
up.
upsets me. It actually upsets me when I play. I'm just like, this is not how football is played. But whatever.
Yeah. I feel you, bro. Cause I think they fixed it on this year's, but before, like, you could throw a ball and like out of nowhere the linebacker will just like jump super high and intercept it all crazy out of
Yeah,
nowhere.
I've seen that. I've seen that before. Right. Right.
But I guess since we're talking about you don't like Madden, who is your favorite opponent to play this year? It doesn't have to be specifically like maybe like who do you think we're gonna win or beat,
Mm.
or like just either that you like that team or you just think that the play style is gonna be fun. Who
Right. Right.
who are
Right.
you looking forward to playing
I
this
mean,
year?
honestly, like Chiefs are the best team, and I do look forward to that game because I feel like that's the game that will show the fans of the Raiders
Yeah,
how far they've come from year to year. Is
yeah,
how well they do in those games. So like you know, defense couldn't do. I mean, Josh Allen's playing like MVP caliber,
hell
and
yeah.
I'm not just saying that because he torched the
Because
Raiders.
he
He's been
is.
torching every team. He's been torching every team. If you're a fantasy football guy and Josh Allen's on your team, you're doing well for yourself, right? So he's been balling, Josh Allen, right? But Patrick Mahomes is going to do the same thing probably,
Yeah,
or he'll be dialed in, and if the Raiders make the same amount of mistakes that they made against the Bills, like it's going to be 38, 40 points that the Chiefs will score. So it shows how far along they've come, and then also we all know Carr's struggles against the Chiefs. Um, so we're gonna find out, what he's made of, if he's continued to improve, or if he's the same guy that he's been like, last 2-3 years.
yeah.
So that's why I look forward to the Chiefs game the most, probably.
I like the Chiefs because well they're Super Bowl champs, And you know the
Yeah.
saying, to be the best, you got to beat the best. So this pretty much shows how far we are along, you know,
Right.
in the Raiders' career. Yeah, man. I didn't know that. I thought this game was gonna be in Vegas. I didn't realize it was in Arrowhead until the day after the Bills game.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
I
was
saw
good.
that when the schedule came out, and I was happy because to play in Arrowhead late in the year,
Yeah, when it's
like
cold.
that's an automatic loss.
Yeah, the cold
Automatic
weather.
loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about that with Derek Carr? That he just does terrible in cold weather.
I mean, you would have to show me some evidence that most quarterbacks don't have that same kind of drop off and play in cold weather. I don't know, but he's from California. He's a California guy. He plays all his home games in California now in Vegas. So
Yeah, even hotter.
yeah, like yeah. I mean, going and playing in the cold, it is a big difference when you're playing and the climate changes that much. It is a big difference. So.
Why is that?
I mean,
In your
just
opinion,
like your grip on the ball, everything feels different. Like
do you
you
feel
go
more
from
stiff or
running,
something?
yeah, you definitely feel more stiff if you're running around in the cold versus you're running around in the heat. Like your body feels a lot different. The way you're moving almost feels a lot different until you get warmed up, and then it's just a constant battle to stay warmed up
Yeah.
throughout. Like the 60 minutes or whatever that the game is played. So yeah, it definitely feels a lot different, and I know that I could speak on that because going and playing. I grew up in Sacramento, and it's hot in Sacramento. It's like
Yeah. Oh hell
110 all
yeah, dude.
summer, right? So going from that, and then I played football in college on the East Coast at Stony Brook University, and like it gets to October, and it's like 40 degrees, getting into like 30s. It's like snowing at
Yeah, I was about to
practice,
say
and
you see snow, bro.
right, right. So like just seeing like the two differences, yeah, like it definitely affects you. Like I couldn't imagine being asked to perform at a high level like in the snow. Like growing up in California and playing like all beautiful weather, like my entire, you know,
Being
Pop
spoiled.
Warner and yeah, high school and everything, and then going and seeing that, I was just like, dang, this sucks. Like cold weather is trash. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's understandable. At the end of the day, he is a professional athlete. He gets paid millions of dollars to perform. So you would hope that the weather doesn't affect him that much. But I'm not convinced that it doesn't affect plenty of quarterbacks. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
That's true. But in the end, Patrick Mahomes is gonna have to play there the same day too, the same weather. So as much excuse as we want to use it, like yeah, he does perform bad in cold weather. The other quarterback's gonna be playing in the same environment, same time. So we gotta win either way.
Yeah.
But all the people that, like you said, from California that said like, oh, suck it up, this and that. Go try driving in the snow and see how it affects you. Because
Yeah. Yeah.
I tell you what, man. People in the rain drive pretty dumb over here. Like they never seen rain before. So driving in that snow, that's another thing too, bro.
Word. It is. It definitely is.
But what is good reason to go watch the tape? Don't lie.
Yeah. I mean, if you're interested in learning more about football, or if you're like, I want to know why the Raiders are struggling in this area, or you want to know why what the Raiders are really good at on offense or on defense, or certain players. We're gonna have it all for you over there on the Tape Don't Lie podcast. Come through if you want to learn about defensive scheme, offensive scheme. What plays are called in football, and not just Madden. Like we'll break it down, concepts, coverages, pass rushes, blitzes, all that stuff, blocking schemes. We break it all down. So it's really it's more like an educational podcast. It's not to confirm. Like if you want to go and be like, okay, I think Derek Carr sucks. We're not gonna talk about that on the podcast. Or if you think John Gruden's like the most amazing play caller of all time. Like you don't go to confirm your own bias. Go to learn something. If you want to come to the Tape Don't Lie podcast, again, we're not like trying to push a narrative. We're just trying to show you what the tape shows us, or the film, the footage, right?
So you guys are pretty much a educational piece, huh?
Yeah, I would consider us that. Yeah, like it's analysis, education. You could call it that,
What
But
about infotainment? that a good one?
Okay,
Yeah.
infotainment. Yeah, I don't know if we're funny enough.
Yeah.
Marcus is funnier than me probably. So
So hey,
maybe he's the infotainment kind of guy.
yin and yang, bro. We gotta bounce off each other. And if not, John Gruden does funny faces and stuff, and he makes me laugh. So you can go ahead and
Yeah, for
do
sure.
that. Are you gonna have a film breakdown on him after the whole year?
Yeah, I mean, yes, we will. We will talk about actually probably before the end of the year. We'll probably talk about a lot of the Raiders scheme. Our plan in the works right now is to have a separate video a week. So I said we got a breakdown show of the previous week, and then we have a preview show of the upcoming opponent. We'll probably add in another one like on Monday. That's just like standard. It's not about a specific game, but it'll be about this is how the Raiders, this is the Raiders run blocking schemes, or this is like the Raiders passing game, or this is all the Raiders blitzes or something like that. And we'll probably have maybe like 20-minute videos, and we'll try to put those out on Mondays. So yeah, John Gruden will probably be one of those subjects as well.
I would say, are you gonna have a Paul Gunther one? But I don't know if he's gonna make it through the whole season or not.
Well, yeah, like I said, this one that I just put out yesterday, this was about Paul Gunther. So if you're super interested in that, go check out the Takedown Live podcast, Week 4 Bills breakdown.
And hey Nate, I see that you say you got a question. I'm gonna have a segment towards the end where you guys can ask any question you want towards BD Williams or me, but mostly towards BD. So go ahead and save it for then, or if you write it now, I'm not gonna read it until that part. So it's up to you when you want to ask it. But I appreciate you being part of the show, bro. That's my favorite part about this is we gotta be a whole community. But what is the longest episode you've done? And is there like a certain time limit that you guys have, like that you want to hit a certain mark that you don't want to pass, or
Yeah.
is it just pretty much the breakdown of what you do?
Yeah, so in the beginning, like I was saying before, we were trying to figure out, iron out any wrinkles and any if there was any glitches, and I think we had like one episode go like an hour and a half once. But since then, my thing is, I don't know if people are really gonna sit down and watch an hour-long episode, right?
Yeah.
But Marcus, my co-host, he brings up a good point, and you just confirmed it. A lot of people listen to the podcast, right? So we actually have it on Apple and Spotify too for people who just want to listen, or you can just like listen and you could have the YouTube video up and just listen to it in the background. Like you said, you do at work sometimes. So the longer format is good for people who are just like trying to listen in the background while they're doing work, while they're driving or whatever it is. So he convinced me to keep it at an hour, but I just feel like people's attention span isn't going to continue, much further than that. So we do have like 1 hour and a half long episode, but most of them are going to be an hour for the breakdown show and 30 minutes for the preview show.
Do you listen to any podcasts or anything like that? Not just about Raiders, but just in general.
Yeah, so I used to listen to some podcasts, mostly football podcasts, not really Raiders specific, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But like things about upcoming incoming draft picks. I listened to some guys like Bucky Brooks and Daniel Jeremiah. Listen to some defensive football podcasts. Hear about kind of different scheme things that are like new or happening, especially in like college or high school football. But I used to, before COVID-19, I had like an hour-long commute to work, so I would always listen to a podcast on the way home, on the way to work. So I would listen to a lot of podcasts. But since COVID hit, I haven't really even been listening to any podcasts, honestly.
Nah, I feel you on that. That's kind of what started me listening to podcasts as well. And the only reason I asked was you've heard of the Joe Rogan podcast, right?
Right.
So that's like what 2 to 3 hours long each episode.
True.
And that's like the most watched thing on YouTube, pretty much.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I guess there really is that kind of like you're saying people don't want to watch it long. That's not true though. People will pause it, keep watching it later on. But I agree. Sometimes some people don't want to watch something for 2 hours straight. Just
I
because
mean,
time. Yeah.
personally, me like people keep telling me about like movies or whatever it is, and I got a 3-year-old daughter. I'm running around after her all day long. I'm trying to grind some film. I'm trying to do my actual day job. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So like people are saying like watch this movie. I'm like I don't have any time to sit around for like 2.5 hours to watch a movie. Like that's not gonna happen. So
Yeah.
like that's just personally me.
I can't watch this movie because if I watch it, I'm just gonna break it down. You're gonna have a film review channel if you can't watch
Okay, yeah,
movies. So
that's a good idea. Actually, I like that.
yeah, maybe start off with some sports movies and go from there, huh?
Yeah, right.
uh, what is your favorite sports movie if you had to say one?
Oh, okay, that's a good one. That's a good question here. Um, the the Jamie Foxx, right? He's the quarterback.
Which one's that? The Remember the Titans or
No, no, no,
no?
no, 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 no.
I haven't seen.
Why am I blanking on it?
I don't know. I haven't seen that one, bro.
Nah, you have for sure, bro.
Nah, I probably haven't. Well, while you look for yours, I think my favorite one is the Water Boy.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one.
It's a classic.
Any given Sunday, you know what I'm
Given
talking
Sunday?
about.
I haven't seen
You've
it. Bro.
seen this.
I've never seen it.
Watch it.
All right.
Any given Sunday,
I don't
Jamie
know,
Foxx.
2 hours, bro. I don't know if I can spend that time on a movie.
He's he's a quarterback, but he's like Mike Vick before Mike Vick or whatever. He's like
Yeah.
running in circles around everyone. That's a good one. Any given Sunday is fun, but most football movies suck.
Yeah, that's true.
Like they're not good. They're
Yeah.
not good.
And not just because they're not like real formations and plays and all that, just because they're just not good.
Right.
It's always right before the big games that something happens to them where they might not play the game and then they come back.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
I would say the most realistic one is Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights.
That's probably the most realistic football movie there is.
Yeah, that's true.
The worst football movie though of all time is Rudy.
Rudy?
By far.
Yeah, I can see that.
By far. I'm sorry. I know people like Rudy. It's trash. That's
Didn't
a
they
terrible
say
movie
like
right
that
there.
whole story was fake?
It's like made up, 100%.
Hey, that's show business, bro. That's why I like the Water Boy, just because it doesn't take itself serious. It knows what it is.
Right.
But
It's supposed to be a joke. Yeah, that's true. Waterboy is good. Waterboy is classic.
That I said Joe Montana.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know you're not gonna break off into making movies and stuff, but what direction do you want to take the Tape Don't Lie?
Yeah, we might, try to expand a little bit in the off season and keep people's attention on us somehow. So we're trying to figure out ways to do that. Maybe have a Patreon account and do a little bit more in-depth analysis. So it's still in the works. We're in, I guess, like the 7th week of recording our podcast. So yeah, we'll see how much we actually do expand, but it's still relatively young in the operation. You feel me?
Yeah, no, I feel you, bro. That's why I know it's kind of hard to say exactly, but at the same time too, you can have a little outline of how things go. Like I'd say I'm probably this is probably my 13th episode.
Okay.
So pretty much once a week. That's about going on 3 months. It doesn't even feel like it, bro. It feels like I've barely been doing this for like a month. But I one day I wanna make money doing this. It'd be nice to figure out a way to get this monetized.
But you have an interesting audience because I know that you have some like Raiders people, but you also do like gamers, right? So you like dabble in like a few different things. So
Yeah,
that's probably smart to like get multiple different types of people, to come visit your channel,
I feel like at the beginning, it's probably, well, this is the beginning. It's gonna take a while to like get the fan base, but I feel once people watch, hopefully that they'll stick through. Maybe they won't like every episode, but they'll watch every other one or maybe once a month. But I'm not doing this for the money because if I was, I'd be doing a pretty terrible job. I'm in the negative, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I enjoy doing this, and if this could replace my job eventually, that'd be sick, dude. Because then I could put more focus into this and other projects. So
Right, right.
that's the plan. I gotta figure that out. Maybe get a studio, just because I have an extra room I have here. So, and
Hey,
yeah,
how you swing that? I thought you were telling me your rent is expensive. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Now you got an extra room, my guy. You know, I'm in the
yeah,
kitchen in my
yeah,
house.
bro. That's why I started. I barely got this extra room like 2 days ago. Nah, 2 episodes ago. So like about I've barely been in here for like 2 weeks.
Okay,
Uh,
okay.
I was in the corner of my kitchen too, bro, right behind my fridge.
Right.
I think was that kind of stopping you, like pretty much thinking like I have nowhere to record this or anything, or was that kind of a thought in the back
Nah,
of your head?
I honestly didn't even think about it, honestly.
Nah.
If anything, you know, like, cause I do have like a little I do have like a little office space
Yeah.
in my apartment, but it's like relatively open. So like when you're going from like the downstairs into like the upstairs, you know, if like my daughter's like running by while I'm recording or something like that, you know, she would just be in it,
Yeah.
you know. So like,
You'd hear the footsteps. The doom, doom, doom,
right,
doom,
yeah, yeah,
doom.
yeah. Or
Yeah.
she, you know, like you see her head like popping up over here, like trying
Yeah.
to look and see what's happening. But so that's why I just try to keep it downstairs, just so I'm not like waking her up, because I usually record like late at night after like her after she goes to sleep or something.
Yeah.
So that's why I've made like the kitchen table, you know, or the dining table, my podcast office.
I was literally like, you see that corner back there? I was literally in a little corner with two desks like stacked together, and I was just doing it like that. That's why I bought this dynamic microphone. I had bought what was it called? A Blue Yeti. Uh,
Okay.
it picks up like it sounds really good, but it picks up like the audio. Like I could hear every noise in the whole house.
Oh,
So so I had to return that and get this where I have to pretty much talk into it to hear.
okay,
So that way
okay.
I don't pick up anyone's background noise or
Right,
anything like that.
right.
So I didn't think that part through. Everyone told me to get a Blue Yeti, so I was like, all right, well fuck it, let me try it out. And it was a good mic, but not for my situation right now.
I see what you're saying.
But it,
What's this one called that you got right there? Because
uh
I got a little cheap one. I got a little cheap mic. Can't even lie.
this was like a $70 one, bro. I looked at like different reviews. It's the Samsung Q2U. Hopefully they
Okay.
pay me for this. But the reason I got this,
Samsung.
yeah, not Samsung, Samsung.
Oh,
SAN,
Samsung. Okay.
SON. And the reason why I like it is because it has the XLR and it has USB. So since the XLR plugs into like, you know, the little equalizers and all that, it's like the actual microphone.
Right.
So when I eventually want to upgrade to that, I can. But for now, I just have it plugged in straight to the computer, and
Right.
it works like that. So
Okay. I see what you're saying. Right.
I would recommend it if you're looking for one. It's the best bang for your buck. But
I mean, you look real legit, bro. You know.
yeah, well, bro,
Yeah.
if you seen the other side of this, you'd laugh. But here, you know, I'll show you guys real quick. Look, it's just a little clip holding it. It's not even an actual. It's not even an actual, like legit holder for it. Which I do have one. I got it for like $10, but it didn't fit my fiance stand. So I just worked with what I had.
Yeah, yeah.
I went halves with her on this camera. It's a Canon one because she has her own business, so she has to take pictures of her clothing. So
I see. Okay.
that's why we went half on it. I figured out how to connect it to my computer. So for now, this is cool. Like I said, eventually I want to upgrade my stuff, but that's when I start making money on this. But we'll see, man. We'll see. But a little off topic, but that's why I like this show because we kind of it's not just it is about you and the tape don't lie, but it's also to get to know you and just what's on your mind. But I get you were talking about COVID earlier. Is there I guess it hasn't really impacted you too crazy because you started during COVID. But is there anything that you would like to do after like COVID is over, or any other way that any
Yeah,
changes you'd
man.
like to see?
I need to go see my travel back to California. My parents moved back down to Los Angeles.
Yeah,
I want to go back and visit them, you know, because it's been almost like a year since I've seen them last.
Oh yeah, man.
Probably maybe like over a year. So that's really the only thing that I'm thinking about. Once this is all over. But my parents are scared about it. I've been talking to them about it for a while, trying to go back and visit with them. But both of them feel like flying is dangerous, and they're worried about catching it
Yeah,
and all that stuff. So it's stopped me from visiting them.
yeah. They won't let you in the door if they see you outside, huh?
Right, something like
Yeah.
that. You know.
Hey, but I mean, yeah, dude, a year is a long time, and but hopefully, like in the long run, once this is all over and stuff, like their health is obviously better than
Yeah, yeah.
than anything. So that's cool that like you're able to respect that. But are you and Mark ever gonna do an episode like in the same room together or something?
Yeah, I don't know. That's definitely far off in the future. I don't know about that. We'll see. We'll see. You see, Mark and me, we're coming at it from like two different standpoints. So like Mark, he like covers football for like multiple different websites. He goes to like the Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama every year to like
Yeah.
cover draft prospects. He has career aspirations of like covering sports, whereas like I don't. I don't really care. I just want to do some Raiders film breakdowns, and then that's it. So like I don't have like a lot of career aspirations when it comes to this. So we'll see. We'll see if it ever comes down to it. Like if because a lot of these guys have been trying to get me to go to the Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama, and I'm just like, nah, guys, I'm not doing that. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not white enough. Sorry, guys. But
Right.
well, maybe. Have you ever been to any Raider games?
Actually, I have not been to any Raider games in my
Uh,
life. I've never been to a single Raider game.
you lived in Sacramento and you never went to one in Oakland, huh?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
my dad refused to take us growing up because he was like, I'm not getting into all that traffic for the Raiders game. We could
Yeah. Oh,
just
okay.
watch it on
Damn.
TV.
He probably he probably has a restraining order on the stadium grounds, and he never told you guys.
Yeah, that maybe that's what it is.
he's,
Maybe that's what it is.
he's like, we're not going anywhere within a mile of that place.
Yeah. Well, so I'm sorry. I take that back. I've never been to the Coliseum. I've been to Raiders games on the East Coast.
Oh,
You
okay.
know. Yeah, like when they
That
play the Jets or like they play the Redskins. I went to that Redskins game where they like choked it all away. I think it was like a Monday night game. Remember that one where everyone was like talking about how Derek Carr and everyone got into an argument about the anthem before
Oh
the game?
yeah, and the offensive line supposedly
Yeah,
didn't like stand up to him.
right.
Yeah,
That game. I was at that game, and that was like one of the worst. Like that's one of the worst Raiders experience I've ever watched.
I
Like just
bet.
getting blown out in that game. It was embarrassing.
Were the Redskin fans telling you anything, or were they just like, well, what? That sucks for him. So
Well, what's crazy is every Raiders game I've been to on the East Coast,
yeah,
there have been it's been half and half Raiders fans and the opposing team's fans. Every Raiders game, like we take over everywhere we go, right?
yeah, hell yeah,
There's so many of us, so it's not even like an uncomfortable thing. Like you go in with like, I got a Charles Woodson jersey,
yeah.
or I got some Raiders gear on
Happy
or something
birthday
like
to
that.
Charles Woodson.
Hey, yeah, yeah, it's his birthday, right?
Yeah.
But like it never one time has it ever been like an uncomfortable thing because we roll so deep as a fan base, So even like these East Coast games, we got thousands and thousands of fans there.
Yeah, like I was telling you, for the past 3 years, I've been going to the Raider games. Um, like I know everyone gives us like a bad reputation, like we're thugs and we're criminals, and like we'll stab you, we'll jump you, this and that. Like how they used to portray like the Raider fan base. But every time I went there, I would hardly see fights. It was rare that I saw any fights. It was like they would talk trash to the like people in the other jersey, but like after they were done telling them stuff, like they'd shake their hand and tell them, oh, hopefully it's a good game or hopefully you have a good time, this and that. It was never really like a hostile environment or anything, even for like the opposing teams.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I feel like the Raider fan base gets a pretty bad rep for all things considered.
yeah, they definitely do. Raiders fan base, 'cause they get a bad rap. Now the worst fan base is probably Philadelphia Eagles fans.
Yeah.
Those people are nuts
Nate,
over
cover
there.
your ears.
Okay, Nate. Philly fans are certified. They're crazy. They're
They'll stab
gonna
you.
they will stab you. Pretty sure they have a courthouse inside, the stadium just to charge people, for
Yeah,
fighting and all that
they
stuff.
have a jail cell in there already, just
Right,
just to
right.
save time. I heard the LA Dodger fan base is pretty nasty. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, like there's always fights breaking out over there. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then I saw an article too that I guess some Chargers fan she was pregnant and she got choked out by another Chargers fan or something. So I don't know
Whoa.
what happened there. And like I was like, man,
Wait. The most surprising thing about that story is you're telling me Chargers have fans?
yeah, and they choked too,
I've never even heard of Chargers fans. I didn't know they had fans.
and they choked too,
To
bro.
begin with.
I was like-
That's good. That's good. I
yeah,
like that.
yeah, and like I seen it and I was like, man, I wish she wasn't a pregnant woman, or I'd like make a meme out of this, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy, bro. Yeah, it's crazy that there is fans. Hey, what do you think when you see the games like that were in San Diego and now in LA? Like that is all just Raiders. Like when they do play the Chargers.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Raiders run LA still to this
Yeah,
day. You know,
yeah,
it's not surprising to me at all because, like I said, when I'll go to a Jet game, I'll go to Washington Redskins game, something like that, and there will be like a third to a full half of the stadium will be filled with Raiders fans. So it's not surprising to me that LA gets overrun by Raiders. Like
hell
that's
yeah.
not surprising at all. You
And
know.
are you gonna go to a Vegas game?
Yeah, we'll see about that. We'll see.
It's gonna be expensive. That's the only thing that's holding me back.
Yeah. Right.
I went from going to free games to paying like $800 for the cheap tickets. I don't know, man.
Mm.
um,
Yeah, that's something I'm gonna have to save up for a couple years from,
yeah.
So we'll see about that.
I saw the one I was looking towards this year was the one against the Chargers. It was like about $300 for like a decent spot, and I figured, well, $300 that's not too bad. But man,
Right.
when I seen was it the Saints and the Raiders, that Monday night game, it was there were $700 for the nosebleeds, bro. And like that's
Dang.
insane. Yeah, I don't. I wanted to go. I was like, dude, it would have been sick being at the last Raider game in Oakland and then going to the first one in Vegas. But nah, I can't. I can't afford that. I know.
That's crazy. $700. I can't even get past that. That's like, come on.
And who would go with you? Your wife, your kid, or I don't know how many kids you got, but
No. No.
not. No, you're
No.
not gonna take
I'm
her with
not.
you.
I'm not wasting. First of all, the price of admission on two people who are not Raiders fans. My daughter is technically a Raiders fan because I've trained her
Yeah,
to say "Go Raiders" every time they're playing. Every time she sees me wearing the gear.
yeah.
So technically, you could say that she's a Raiders fan, but she's 3 years old. My wife has no interest in football, so I wouldn't waste a $700 ticket on her. That's for sure.
If you're watching this, he says it with love. It's not from a hateful place.
She knows. She knows. She knows. That's
Yeah,
funny.
that's
Yeah.
crazy. And I don't know how the vibe's gonna be in Vegas. Like obviously, like it should be dope because it's Vegas, like it's big old party city. But I don't even know if I'm a tailgate if I go to Vegas, man. Because I heard it gets like 100 something degrees sometimes. I'm not down with
Right.
that. And if I'm at the strip, I might as well just party there and then go to the game right after.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be super interesting. I think that you won't really see like that true home field advantage
Yeah,
for the Raiders until after COVID is over, because then these players are gonna be coming, from out of town and partying in Vegas and doing all
yeah.
that stuff
Hey,
before the
that's
game.
our advantage right there, bro. Like, even
Yeah,
if one player gets too turned up like the night before or something,
Right.
and it throws them off a little bit,
Right.
there's that. Hopefully,
That's the true home field advantage there for being in Vegas. But we haven't seen it because they have to check into the hotel or whatever,
and
and
just stay in there.
and
Yeah.
they just have to stay. So we're not gonna really see that until maybe next year, hopefully.
Hopefully, Mark Davis talks to like some of the owners of the strip clubs and other like clubs and stuff.
Yeah,
He tells them like, "Hey, give them,
Yeah.
give them free entrance, give them free
Hey,
drinks, give
right,
them unlimited
right.
drinks the whole night."
Yeah.
Just do that, and then during the off season, our players will only come here.
Okay, right.
I don't know something, but yeah, that'd be dope to see. And I also like the fact that now that for like both of us, if we're gonna go fly all the way to a different state, we're gonna go and watch a game. At least we can make a whole weekend out of it. You know, not just like, all right, I'm in Oakland now. What is there to do around here? Like
Right.
after one day. Uh, when was the last time you were in Vegas, bro?
Never. I never been to Vegas.
Never been to Vegas. Oh man, it's
Never
cool.
been.
For 3 to 4 days, it's pretty cool to be there. Anything after that, it's kind of just played out. Like you kind of do everything. Unless you win big, then maybe, maybe that's cool. But I usually break even when I'm there gambling. So I guess since we're kind of done asking the questions about tape don't lie. Um, you told me earlier, but you want to let the people know how long you've been a Raider fan for?
Yeah, guys. So I've been a Raider fan for life. I was
Live.
born into it. So even though I said all those things about my dad not wanting to go to Raiders fans, he had Raiders gear, and that's the only team that he's been a fan of. All my cousins and everyone. So, yeah, everyone in my family's a Raider fan. I'm a Raider fan. There was no debate. I didn't choose or select the team. I
The,
was born
the
with it.
team chose you, bro.
Yeah, there you
The
go.
Shield chose
There you
you.
go. There you go.
I know you don't like to talk politics about the Raiders, um, but who is your favorite current Raider
Favorite current Raider? Okay,
on the team?
that's good. That's a good question. That's a good question. I'll probably go with right now. You're putting me on the spot. Actually, no, I know this one. Trayvon Mullen is probably my favorite current
Trayvon
Raider.
Mullen.
Yeah.
Do you like how he's I guess how his plays turned into? Like he's one
Yeah,
of the bright
man.
spots on defense, bro.
Yeah.
One.
I
One.
watched. I watched every. I watched every snap of all Raiders defense. Going back for a few years, and he's definitely the best corner that they've had
Yeah.
for a while. But that goes back to last year. I
Yeah.
would say that his play in like the Jaguars game was one of them. Cincinnati, he had a solid game against Kansas City in like week 12. Um, the Denver game at the end of the year. Those games were fantastic. If he had a full season's worth of those games, he'd be like top 5 corner in the NFL. You know. So yeah, I would say he played even better last year than he's playing so far this year.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Dang.
yeah. So I mean, people are saying that he's like good this year, and I'm just like, were you not watching?
Yeah.
Like this guy he's been balling here. You
Well,
know.
he probably has more of the spotlight this year now,
Right.
so that's probably why. And
That's definitely what it is.
I was disappointed that Gary and Conley didn't play like he was supposed to. I remember, was it the Jets game that he got it, that he only like that one game he played that year before he got injured again.
Oh, like 2 seasons ago. Yeah. I
before
know
he
what you're
like,
saying.
I remember watching that game, watching him play, and he played. That's where he like when he swatted the ball, he swatted it towards his teammate so they could try to intercept it. I remember watching that game and I was like, man, he's gonna turn into something pretty crazy. And well,
Yeah.
that never panned out, you know. So I'm glad that Trayvon Mullen did, but it would have been nice to have that two tandem right there.
Yeah. Tell me about it, man. Hopefully
Yeah,
Damon Arnett, because like Damon Arnett, like personality wise, is like the complete opposite from Garrett Conley.
yeah,
And I think that that's kind of what Gruden and Mike Mayock want in guys. Is not just Garrett Conley's athleticism. Like he was a fantastic athlete, but like personality wise, they didn't really think he had like that dog in him.
yeah. He wants to go
Never,
get it.
never tackled anyone
Yeah, for real.
ever.
He couldn't tackle, bro. Arnett's over here playing with the broken hand.
All right.
Yeah,
And so it's a mentality thing. So I think we'll see if Arnett can turn into being maybe as good as Trayvon Mullen. If he's even close to as good as Trayvon Mullen, next year, next couple years, Raiders have fantastic starting outside corners.
hell yeah. The only thing that sucks about Arnett is that he's not gonna play the rest of this year. It's cool because his hand gets to heal.
No, he's gonna come back.
He's coming
So
back?
during COVID, yeah. So during COVID, the injury reserve doesn't take you out for the full year.
Yeah.
It's only three weeks.
You think his hand will heal by then?
If it's a so there's two things that could happen. Okay, if it's soft tissue damage, like a sprain or like he's got a ligament tear or something like that, he's gonna have to like keep on playing with the cast or whatever it is. But if it's just a broken bone, that's way better. Like it sounds crazy, but like you would rather break something if you're an athlete than tear a ligament because like
Yeah.
a bone will heal in like a set amount of time and it'll be stronger than it was before. You
Yeah.
know, so if it's like a broken thumb or whatever he had, he's gonna be good to go in like 4 weeks. He'll
All
be
right.
good.
All right. Exclusive news right here from BD Williams. Damon Arnett's gonna be on the field in 4 weeks. He's got that insider news. Nah,
There you go.
but yeah, man. Well, even if he can't catch, as long as he gets those deflects, that's cool, man. And I guess you do gotta have an ego when you're a cornerback, right? Because you can't let these wide receivers push you around and stuff.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
So
I mean, to play any position,
yeah, no, yeah,
at a
that's
high
true
level,
too.
basketball, baseball, football, you gotta really, really super want it,
Yeah.
at that point,
You can't be like DJ Hayden.
It's a crazy thing about DJ Hayden. Like, last year he was like one of the best nickel corners in the NFL for the Jaguars.
Yeah. So you think?
It's it took him forever. That like we could talk about this. Reggie McKenzie, all his draft picks. Like you saw Shadley Calhoun have a
Calhoun
really
on the
good,
Patriots?
yeah,
Yeah.
against the Patriots, right? He knew what he was doing, but he was taking guys who it was like years off.
Yeah.
Like it was like they will be good. They belong in the NFL, right? But like they're gonna need like really good coaching
D-
and they're gonna need time, like 5-6 years before they reach their potential. Like that's the kind of guys that he would pick, left and right.
And he would pick them kind of high too.
And he'd pick him way too
Yeah.
early. Yeah. Yeah.
That's kind
Right.
of was his downfall too. And since we're talking about defense, when you have Ken Norton Jr. too, I don't know what happened with him, but maybe he's just better as a linebackers coach. But
He's a defensive coordinator now in Seattle.
in Seattle. And
But they have a really bad
giving out-
defense.
Yeah, aren't they giving
Yeah.
up like hella points? Yeah. No, but
Right.
what was surprising was our offensive line coordinator, Tom Cable, when he was with the Seahawks. Man, they couldn't. They were like one of the worst. They had one of the worst lines for the past. Well, except for last year, maybe, for like the past 3-4 years. And then so when we were getting him, I was like, I don't really know about this man. I kind of don't want him, but he's been pretty solid for us. So I don't know if it's just the lineman that they drafted that was whack or
Yeah, I guess what they were saying, like, don't quote me on this because, like, I don't like follow the Seahawks, like I follow the Raiders. But I guess like their thing was like they refused to draft offensive linemen like in the first 3 rounds.
yeah,
They were like, okay, we'll give you fourth round linemen and like worse,
yeah.
and then develop them into starters. Whereas like the Raiders, like they're getting first round,
And
offensive linemen. So
what's it called? They're like, well, Russell Wilson can run, so we don't really need linemen.
Right.
Yeah, he could just do whatever he wants.
also what people also don't realize too
Yeah,
is when you have a quarterback like Russell Wilson who holds onto the ball so long, it's gonna make offensive lines look bad sometimes,
yeah, because
especially when he's running around.
yeah, they got to run with them.
Right.
They can't just stay in that same spot. And when you're that
Right.
big, bro, that's a lot of weight to be carrying around.
Exactly. Whereas like Derek Carr, he makes the offensive line look better because he gets rid of the ball so quick.
Yeah.
So it's contrasting play styles too from the quarterbacks. That's probably a bigger indication than Tom Cable in both of these scenarios, going from Seahawks offensive line to Raiders offensive line, I would say.
I wasn't really gonna. This didn't even cross my mind to like talk about this, but I actually met a lineman from the Seahawks. His name was Justin Britt. He was the center.
Yeah, Justin Britt.
Because I lived in Washington for like once I turned 18. My dad lives up there, so I went to go live up there with him.
Okay. Word.
Central Washington. It's called Sunnyside. You probably have not heard of it at all. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like a little small
Okay.
farm area. And well, my friends were Seahawk fans. They were working that day that he was like doing some signings. So I went to go get a hat signed from my friend because his birthday was coming up. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna get this hat signed and I'll give it to him for his birthday. That'd be pretty sick gift. So I waited in line. There was nothing but like Seahawks fans. I was wearing a Khalil Mack jersey because I'm a Raiders fan. And so I got there. Justin Britt was signing the hat. And I asked him, I was like, hey, bro, what do you think about my jersey? And, I showed him the Khalil Mack. And, like, the dude got all mad. Him and his security guard. They're like, man. They're like, why the fuck are you wearing that for? I was like, cause I'm a Raiders fan, obviously. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. And then that was like I think that was the first year that Mac was on the Raiders too. It was
Oh, really?
the
Okay.
first or second year. And they're like, man, take that off and let a real player sign it. I was like, real player? I was like, bro, I never even heard of you. I was like, Khalil Mack got all pro. He got all pro in two positions. I'm like, what have you done?
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and like I didn't even want to argue with the guy. Like I was really interested to see like what other players think of other players in the league, you know. But
That's interesting.
I could kind of see why he would get mad at them like after the fact. I was like, oh, you know what? He probably thought I was trying to be a dick or
That's
something.
surprising. Surprising,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah,
Shit.
so and then yeah, I was walking out, they're all yelling at me and shit, like just telling me shit. But yeah, he told me he's all, oh yeah, let a real player sign it. I was like, bro, what? Who the fuck are you? Like, you know, I was like, what? Like, you're not gonna talk trash about my team. I don't care who you are or where we're at, bro. You know, we gotta
Right.
we gotta rep the Raiders right, bro. Um, so are you saying that? Well, it's not even the Redskins game. That Washington football team game. I guess before they were the Washington football team. Is that the worst Raider game that you can think of, or what's the worst Raider?
That was the
game?
worst one I was personally at. You know.
Which one's the worst one that for you? Like, I guess
For
that you
me,
watched.
Okay, so the worst one for me was the final game at the Coliseum, the Jaguars game.
Yeah.
That's probably the worst one for me. It'll probably go down as the worst one for me because like the Raiders were like, you know, they were doing poorly.
Yeah.
My wife and my cousin, you know, like they're over, like my cousin's over, and we all go to Philadelphia for like the day,
Yeah.
and I'm just chilling on my phone watching the Raiders game the entire time. Right, and they're like having fun doing something, and then I feel like the Raiders are winning, right?
Yeah.
The
Well,
Raiders
yeah,
are
they
winning.
were.
Like
Yeah,
I
they
feel
were
like
up.
we're
Yeah.
good. I'm like, okay, we got this. I'm like, I'm gonna go get the car, okay? And so I'm walking through the streets of Philadelphia, watching the Raiders game on my phone, okay? And when uh when when they score at the very end, Lamarcus Joyner gives up that touchdown in the end zone. I'm literally walking through Philly, just screaming at the top of my lungs, like "No, no!" Right?
Yeah.
And like I just like get into the car. Like by the time I get to the car, like they've lost, and I'm just like, "Are you serious?" Like I left the function, and we were winning, you know. And by the time I get to the car, we lost the game. Like, are you serious? You know. So that one's always gonna hurt, especially because that was supposed to be the send off
Yeah.
for the fans,
And we had it.
and you know, and right. So that's the most hurtful part about it, you know. So I feel for all the Raider Nation that they weren't sent off better, you know, with that Jaguars game. That was really bad, really
So
bad game.
I was there at that game. I was I wasn't in the black hole, but I was like pretty close to it. Uh, I guess being there for 3 years, I kind of figured out how to like make my way to the front row. I got pretty good at that. Earlier, I told you I was in a suite. Uh, so I was under the section where there was shade because the floor on top like stuck out over the roof.
Right.
And so the game ended, and then like it was just quiet real quick, and then all you hear is everyone booing, bro. Everyone was booing, and then I just look up and I just see toilet paper just flying onto the field. I see nachos just being thrown onto the field. It was pretty bad, man. I was like, damn, this is whack. Especially if you compare it to the year before when we beat the Broncos like on Christmas Eve or on the 23rd, I believe. Uh, that was the last game, maybe, because they didn't finalize the deal yet, and that was like a happy send off. It was against the Broncos, and then comparing it to
Right.
this one, you know, it was just like fuck, this is terrible. This is like, you know, this isn't what we
Right.
wanted to see. So
Yeah, especially because they gave it up, you
yeah,
know. Yeah, that one hurt. That one hurt personally.
that's
You
that's
know.
a I like Gardner Minshew, but I'll never forget about that, man. He's always gonna have a spot in my heart. Like, man, fuck this guy. But I don't know. He's been up and down. Gardner. He started off like insane. His first game, what, like 19 for 20. and
Yeah.
then he's kind of came back down to reality. So we'll see how he does. Um, I guess before we go into the live questions, if if the Raiders, well, if the Raiders when the Raiders make it to the Super Bowl, who would you like to see them play?
Okay, yeah. Shoot. It'd be pretty cool if they could play the Buccaneers,
The
go
Buccaneers.
against Tom Brady, and John Gruden could get that monkey off his back.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be
Uh,
pretty
that,
nice
that
too.
that there'd be a lot of cool things going on in that game because the last Super Bowl that the Raiders were at, it was against the Bucks and they
Yeah,
lost,
they got
right?
mollywopped. Yep.
Right.
Um,
So and then Tom Brady with the tuck rule game and all that.
yeah,
So
there's a lot of
that
storylines.
would be yeah, that'd be the best storyline.
Yeah, that would be pretty interesting. I never really thought about that. Being here in the Bay, I'd probably say the Niners and the Raiders would be a dope Super Bowl, just because they got that whole
Okay.
Battle of the Bay still.
Right.
So that'd be pretty crazy. Um, yeah. Other than that, maybe like I said, I grew up in Washington. I moved back to Cali. Then I lived in Cali for a long time. Went back to Washington for a little bit. It'd be cool to see the Seahawks too, just because like a lot of my friends, they're Seahawks fans, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they never shut up about them sometimes. So it'd be cool to see the Seahawks too, just to beat them in there. So I don't know. I'd probably say the Niners. I wouldn't mind the Bucks. I wouldn't mind the Seahawks. But at the end of the day, whoever we beat in the Super Bowl is cool, right?
Word.
And would you want it in Vegas or would you want it over there somewhere close to you if it was in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, well, I'm not the kind of guy who could afford a Super Bowl ticket no matter what, so it doesn't matter to me.
Where's the
Yeah.
shittiest stadium? So that way it could be cheaper.
Yeah.
Maybe do an episode of the Tape Don't Lie. Ask your fan base to everyone pitch in $5-10 to try to get you guys tickets to go.
Yeah, there you go. Right.
But all right. I know that it's getting late over there. You probably got to be heading off soon. If anyone has any questions, now's your time to go ahead and ask them. BD Williams will answer them to the best that he can. This is your chance to go ahead and ask away. So make your question worth it. Don't ask him anything dumb, like why is the sky blue? So we're going to take a quick break while you guys go ahead and ask your question. And we'll be back in about 45 seconds. All right, let's go.
1, 2, 2, 2, 2. Public service announcement for the people out there listening to this funky ass boom bap album. Check it out.
All right, we're back, everyone. So, Nate already asked some questions, but let's go. All right, Nate, let's see. Thank you for sticking till the end, Nate. Let's see. In the end of the day, against the Kansas City team, what would you think the Raiders need to win? Offense or win off of defense or offense to win against the Chiefs?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take more than offense and defense. It's going to be a few miracles, like getting a fumble recovery for a touchdown or returning a kick. You'd have to get the ball bouncing, the right way quite a few times. Maybe get the refs calling some favorable things for the Raiders, which would never happen against the Chiefs,
Yeah,
right?
not against the Chiefs, bro.
No, so yeah, it would take a whole hurricane, perfect storm of things to happen for the Raiders to win. Probably, just being realistic. But
Alright. So we'd need a hurricane to help beat the Chiefs. Pay the refs, get a hurricane. Damn, that's a lot of stuff. But pretty much, we're offense is gonna have to go ham, bro. Defense is gonna have to go ham. Special teams is gonna have to go ham. and the refs are gonna have to go ham against the Chiefs.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Maybe have it snow a random winter day in Kansas City. I don't know, because then Carr doesn't do. I feel like Mahomes would be
Exactly.
better than Carr in that
Exactly.
situation. Yeah.
Can't even do it like that. Can't even do it like that.
All right, let's see what else. All right, and then Anna Mendoza from YouTube. That's my sister-in-law. She says, off topic, but what's your dream vacation?
Dream vacation. Okay, I would say, um, maybe like going back home to California and just going on like a taco tour of the state. Try to find all the best tacos.
Hell
You
yeah.
know, that would probably be my dream tour. Because look, guys, if you go to the East Coast, tacos over here are trash. We don't got the real Mexicans over here. You know, we got some like good Central American food. You know, but we don't. You know, Mexican food is not great over here. You know, so I always miss it every time I go back to California. I'm just always thinking about tacos. So.
There you go. So you'd spend like about 6 days in LA and then one day in the rest of the rest of California.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! I don't know, bro. Northern California has some fire tacos.
Yeah.
Are you telling me? Wait, you're a Northern California guy, aren't you?
Yeah.
Hold on now.
Yeah.
So you're telling me you think LA has better tacos?
LA, San Diego, they probably have more variety of better tacos. But if you find the
Okay.
right spots in Northern Cal, you can do good. But
See, I don't like any trendy places.
yeah,
I like, like I want to go to a place that looks like a hole in the wall. Like they don't speak any English when you go inside. I want like an abuela
yeah,
behind the counter. Like that's the kind of tacos I'm looking for like I'm not trying to go to like any of the hipster joints. They got like all the fancy. Like if I see a taco place like that, I won't even try it.
you don't want your horchata in a jar.
Right.
Do you use TikTok, bro?
Nah, I don't use it.
Okay, so I wasn't a big fan of TikTok either. I've kind of started using it more recently. One thing about it is they show a lot of the hole in the wall places on there.
Oh, okay, word.
Yeah, so it's pretty sick on that. And when I went to LA a couple weeks ago, a month ago, I don't remember how long it's been already, but when I went to LA, my fiance, she found a place called Papi's Tacos and Churros or something like that, and they had birria tacos. They're called quesadillas. It was fire, bro. It was pretty good. So like I wouldn't have found that place without it.
Right.
And do you like birria?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. So yeah, those tacos were fire, bro. I haven't. They have. I guess they do have some stuff like that around here too, but they charge like arm and leg when they do that
Really?
stuff around here. Yeah. So I don't know. I guess when I go to LA, I like going for the different food. And I heard San Diego's got fire food too, bro. But
Yeah, I mean, I think it's safe to say anywhere in California has the fire Mexican food compared to anywhere else.
yeah, that's crazy, bro.
I could speak on that from
Yeah.
experience. Yeah.
You just take a bite and just spit it on the floor. You're like, what's
Like, what
what's
is this? What is this? Right.
You start a film breakdown on the on the how they're doing everything wrong.
Right.
All right, so that's cool though, man. And you said your family lives in LA, or do they live?
Yeah,
in
they live.
Sacramento?
They moved from Sacramento down to LA probably a couple years ago. My parents, but my brother still lives in Sacramento. I got family, like in San Francisco and Oakland. A lot of family in Los Angeles still. So
So
all throughout the state, people live.
hell yeah. Well, whenever you do come down, bro, let me know, man. I'll buy you a drink and some tacos. Whenever you're in the Bay Area. So my fiance Laura Mendoza from YouTube, she's asking, what should we expect to see in the future on Tape Don't Lie? I guess something different than what I asked you.
Just more breakdowns of Raiders. If you guys are into like all the details, the real specific things about how players play certain techniques, blocking schemes, play calling, stuff like that. That's what we're going to be diving into each and every week. So we'll see where it goes from there, Laura. But until it gets any bigger than that, that's what we had to offer Raider Nation. We're just going to break it down each week, show you guys what the Raiders are doing well, maybe things that they need to improve in. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna make sure that she watches your guys' episodes so she can learn some stuff.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
I'm gonna throw her under the bus right now. Her first Raider game was against the Seahawks in Seattle. That's the first time I went to their new stadium.
Okay.
And no, I went for preseason games. That's the first time I went for a regular season game. That was Derek Carr's first time against the Seahawks. I don't know if you remember that game. It's a while ago.
I remember, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that game, yeah.
I think it was Bruce Irvin like tipped the ball and caught it like one-handed. But anyways,
Right.
when you go to the game, sometimes they have promos. They had like a special deal. If Carr got sacked like 5 times, that Jack in the Box would give like free tacos and like and like you'd get free pancakes somewhere else, like some other like a Denny's or something.
Okay, yeah.
If they got a certain amount of sacks, and I got my fiance a Derek Carr jersey, and so like they sacked him like the first time, and they're like, oh, he gets hit 2 more times, you guys get free tacos, a free Slurpee, and then like he gets hit 4 more times, you'll get free pancakes. So on the second sack, she started cheering. And I looked at her like, what are you doing?
You have the man's jersey on your back.
She was wearing a Carr jersey too.
That's hilarious.
She's all, I'm sorry. She's all, I just wanted to
She's trying to get those free tacos, those free pancakes. Are you kidding me?
I was like, man, that's terrible.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
So that's a good memory that I'm always going to have with her about that. She got mad because the last season I didn't take her to a Raider game. And I went because I went to one. But that's what happens.
Funny.
That's what happens. I don't want her cheering against the Raiders anytime. And then one more question. Again, Nate double dipped. Nate 123444431 from Twitch. Crazy name. He's moment of truth, bro. He's asking that. Do you believe that the Raiders are a solid team?
Yes, actually, I do believe they're a solid team. I think they got some pieces in place. Problem is, it's just going to be their offense is pretty good. If you look at a lot of advanced metrics, third down efficiencies, the time of possession, Raiders offense is really good so far, and it has been since the last year. There were some games obviously when it didn't come to fruition, but I think this year we're even seeing the offense look better. But the problem is right now is the defense is probably just as good as the offense is, the defense is bad, in the opposite direction, right? So against good teams, they're going to struggle as long as their defense is struggling. So I think they're a solid team. Obviously, I think what we can hope for is they expanded the playoffs, so you got a little extra playoff spot. So hopefully the Raiders can maybe clinch one of those wild cards. And, so we're talking about, borderline playoff team if the chips fall in the right direction for them right now.
So I agree with BD Williams, not because I don't want to explain myself, but I agree with him. The only thing is I'm going to put an asterisk on it. So the reason I think the Raiders are a solid team, everything he said, but when healthy. Right now we're dealing with a bunch of injuries, man. What was it, like 16 players injured?
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Injury report's big, yeah.
How many did the Chiefs have? 2. Yeah, so that's a lot. So, like he said, our defense, not so good. Our offense, pretty good. But who are we missing? Our number 1 receiver, our number 2 receiver, and our number 3 receiver. So, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, people are going to get injured. It's not an excuse in the NFL. Like, everyone gets injured,
That's true.
and even the best teams that it says like, oh, they don't have anyone on the injury report. Like, no, people are injured. They're just not on the injury report.
Yeah.
They're playing through it. So everyone gets hurt. It's impossible not to get hurt playing football.
When someone's going 25 miles per hour hitting you.
You're right. Yeah. So, all these guys are going to be banged up. It's just like the nature of the game. And the best teams have the toughest guys who just gut it out and get through it, even though their knee and their back and their hip and their, ankle and everything is bothering them,
my neck
for
and my back.
for 12 games, whatever it is,
Yeah.
Even if you look at Josh Jacobs last year, they had to hang him up at the end, but he played like 8 games with like a broken
his shoulder, the clavicle,
shoulder, whatever that was, like that's, injuries are going to happen. So it can't be any excuse. You can't say, oh, we would be good if we weren't injured, because like, no, every team gets injured, so it can't be part of the thought process on if a team is good or not.
What about Richie Incognito and Trent Brown not playing? You don't think that?
Yeah, I mean,
that's
if
a big
anything,
difference right there.
if anything, it throws off because the Raiders have been a really good zone blocking team on
Yeah.
offense,
Which is
and
surprising. I didn't want them to be a zone blocking team, but it panned out.
it panned out.
Yeah.
But the thing about zone blocking is everyone has to work together, like in unison. So like the whole line, everyone's first step is the exact same. Same foot, same distance, like they're all moving basically as one unit.
Yeah.
And now when you have like Denzel Good going from tackle to guard, and then you have this other guy named Sam Young playing right tackle, and then Brandon Parker eventually came in and played right tackle, it just throws the timing of that unit off. So like what they were good at being a zone blocking team, they're not good at anymore. Because like all the moving parts. So I honestly think that contributed to the loss in Buffalo was just having like these constant, musical chairs of tackle guards and tackles coming in. Honestly,
And then we rely on the run a lot because that's how John Gruden likes to play. And we got Josh Jacobs. He's kind of injured too. What was his hip?
he's got a groin, I think, or a hip. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's already the line's not playing as good as they are. Josh Jacobs can't play to his full potential. Like you said, no excuses, bro. But at the same time too, there is kind of a little, I guess, wiggle room. But either way, at the end of the day, it's about the wins, right? Wins and losses.
Yeah.
So
Right.
So I agree with you on
Just
that.
win.
Yeah,
Just win, right?
Yeah, this little flag that someone gave me back here says "just win" on it. It's a little knockoff flag, but that's how it goes. But all right, everyone, give BD Williams a big round of applause.
Thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, no problem, bro. I'm sorry.
Really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no problem, man. I appreciate you coming on here, man. It means a lot. It's kind of hard to do a interview show when you have no one to interview. And I kind of messaged you earlier saying that my goal is to have at least one Raider person a month. So far, I've met that goal because I'm a Raiders fan, so I think it'd be dope. Every once in a while, this turns into a Raider show.
That's cool. That's cool.
I had Mitchell Rands. I had Josh Villa. He's from The Thrill of It. He does UFC and Raiders videos on YouTube. I had my cousin Matt. He does the podcast with me too. Now I have you, so you're part of the Hall of Fame. You're part of the roster. I guess you're the defensive coordinator now. But
That's funny, man.
yeah, no problem.
Yeah, man. All right, thanks, man.
Oh, one more
Raider
thing
Nation.
one more thing before you go. Go ahead and drop any social medias that you want people to follow you on.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at BDWilliams18. Check out the Takedown Live podcast. Myself and Marcus Johnson. We break down Raiders game tape. I also write articles, analysis articles on Just Blog Baby about the Raiders.
There you go. Right to the point. I appreciate everyone that's watching. I appreciate everyone that watches after this is live. You guys are dope. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe not only to my channel, to his channel. And you can find me on Top 3 Gaming on YouTube. Check out the Why Not Me podcast. Check out my other podcast, Top 3 Views. I talk about trends, gossip, celebrities, tech, news, and sports. I'll go ahead and put all his places where you can follow him in the description below. Mine as well. I appreciate everyone. Thank you for being a part of the squad. And I hope you guys have a good night. I hope you have a good one too, bro. And, well, I'm going to go ahead and catch you later. So, I'm going to go ahead and end this. Where is that thing at? Sorry, man. And there. And if I'm going to talk to you real quick on Zoom, off screen. Is that cool?